All right, guys, this week's movement tip demo is going to be going over some double unders, and we're going to be going over quite a few different variations and tips depending on what your problem is. And what I mean by problem is sometimes people swing those arms out, right? We tend to go a little wider, which shortens the rope. If you watch my rope, as my hands right now, you can see where the rope is, if you can see it on the camera, but it's down by here by my feet. And as my hands go wider, the rope is going to start to get shorter. Okay, so as it's spinning overhead, if my hands are going out, which is a very common thing, that rope's going to get shorter. So a couple things. We talk about this in class a lot. Not sure if you guys all pay attention to it, but we'll go over it again. Remember, the important thing is hands and elbows, kind of hands down in line with a belt buckle. So if I had a big belt buckle, my hands would be in line with that. It's not going to be below it, and it's not going to be above it. It's not going to be behind it, and it's not going to be in forward. Okay, so if I have an imaginary buckle, trying to keep that in a straight line. Okay, so there's my hands. All right, and that's where I want to try to keep it. Another thing is, if you're staring straight ahead, you can see your hands in your peripheral. Okay, if you can't see it, it's too far back. Now I lost my hand, I don't see it. Now I see it. Okay, and it's in line with my belt buckle. All right. Another thing that we talk about, and this is what we're going to try to explain today, is when we're doing double unders, it is not thinking about jumping faster or getting multiple jumps. The cadence of your jump stays the same. Okay, so what I mean by that is if I'm doing jump ropes in a single format, my jump doesn't change. Okay, and that's why I always say when you're doing jump roping and singles, you want to practice going slower because you have more control over the rope. If I'm going slower with the single jump, I know how many times I can spin it. I have more control. So you really want to try to slow it down, jump a little higher, and then you go a jump and then 1, 2. Okay? So it's jump, then flick, and then jump, then flick. Okay? So it's getting that timing down. Okay? So if I'm jumping really fast in my single, that means the rope has to speed up, and that's just in my singles. So imagine now if I want to go to doubles, how fast now I have to spin that rope to achieve those doubles. Okay? Because my jump speed doesn't change, my rope speed changes. Okay? So if you can think of that, I'm going to show you the difference. If I go with a slower jump, and then I spin, and then if I go fast, you can see how much faster the rope has to go. So then, obviously, if I'm doing doubles, that rope has to speed up. So that'll be your first thing. Just work on jumping slower and a little bit higher. Okay, and then what you want to try to do is jump, and then you flick the rope, come back down, jump, and flick. So that's why we say if you can get into a cadence of talking to yourself or counting out loud, jump 1, 2, jump 1, 2, you'll get your rope and speed down. So ready? We'll start with those singles, high jumping, slowing it down. So it was, if you see, I was doing jump 1, 2, jump 1, 2, jump 1, 2. And if you were watching, my hands went out a little too far, which shortened my rope, and that's why I tripped up. Okay? So that is a double under tip for today. Slow down your jump ropes, okay? Keep your hands in line, slow it down, jump higher, and try to do jump 1, 2. That should help you. Next week, I'm going to try to cover how we can fix the hands going out, okay? So stay tuned. You guys are going to want to know this. And you guys know that jump roping is going to be part of the Open. I guarantee it. At some point, you're going to see these double unders. So let's get them hammered down and make sure we get them locked in, all right? It's another movement tip for you guys. We'll see you next week.